What if the reason your money, and your career feel a little stuck right now
Hmm.
has literally nothing to do with your skills
Right.
and everything to do with this quiet, hidden fear that you just haven't faced yet?
Oh, absolutely. That happens so often.
Right. Well, welcome back to Horoscope TV. We are so glad you are spending some time with us today.
We really are.
This time together is dedicated entirely to you, our Aquarius listener, and we are looking at your specific forecast for the week of March 16 to March 22.
Which is a huge week, by the way.
It really is. Our goal today is to analyze the astrological data and help you prepare for a week that is honestly looking like a total game changer.
Yeah, a massive turning point.
We're talking about major financial growth, some really sweet romantic moments, and yes, a few tricky social situations that you are definitely going to want to step around carefully.
For sure. Because when we analyze the big picture of the planetary movements right now, the energy is heavily focused on three main areas for you.
Okay, lay them out for us.
So first, we see a huge spotlight on your money and your career path.
Love that.
Right. Second, there's a major push to clear up old misunderstandings that have just been, dragging you down.
The worst.
Yeah. And third, the data shows a need to find joy in very simple, everyday things. That's really the core theme of the week.
Looking at how all of this is laid out, it honestly reminds me of renovating a house.
Oh, how so?
Well, like not just wiping down the counters, right?
Yeah.
But really fixing the place up. Because if you want to bring in beautiful, shiny new furniture,
Which is the money and the romance.
exactly, which represents the financial bonuses and the romantic moments coming later in the week, you can't just shove that nice new furniture into a room with a leaky roof.
No, definitely not. Or rotten floorboards.
Right. You have to do the hard work first. You have to rip out the bad drywall, fix the leaks, sweep out all the heavy dust.
Yeah, the structural work.
Exactly. And that sweeping and fixing, that represents communicating honestly and clearing up the bad energy in your life. Because you simply cannot bring the good stuff into a broken room.
That is exactly the right way to think about it. The astrological data is asking Aquarius to do the structural work first.
Because it makes room.
Right. Clearing the air is the exact mechanism that makes room for the new money and the new love to actually flow in.
It makes total sense.
And since the biggest theme showing up in your chart this week is money, it probably makes the most sense to start there.
I agree completely.
Let's look exactly at what the planets are doing to the Aquarius bank account and, the career path.
I am all for starting with a bank account.
Oh,
I mean, feeling secure is usually step one for everything else,
right,
right?
100%.
So let's look at Monday, March 16th. The data says the moon enters Pisces.
Yes.
For our Aquarius listeners, what does that actually mean for their wallets?
Well, to understand this, we kind of have to look at how the sky is mapped out for an Aquarius. When the moon moves into Pisces, it travels through what astrologers call your second house.
Which is the money sector.
Exactly. It's the part of your chart that rules your income, what you value, and just generally how you earn your living.
Okay, got it.
And the moon rules our daily habits and our emotions. So, when the moon sits in your money sector on March 16th, the data indicates you'll find massive success by working diligently on your totally brilliant public projects.
Okay, wait.
Yeah.
Let's break that down. Because working diligently can sound a little boring.
Sure, it can.
Like, what does that look like in a normal, everyday situation? If I'm an Aquarius waking up and going to work on Monday, how do I actually use this moon in Pisces energy safely?
It really means putting your head down and focusing on the details of the things other people are going to see.
Okay, the public-facing stuff.
Exactly. Let's say you work in an office. This is the day you spend an extra maybe 45 minutes reviewing a presentation before you show it to your team.
Making sure there are no typos, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Right. Making sure every single slide is perfectly correct. Or if you work in retail, it means making sure your store displays are clean, organized, welcoming.
Oh, I see.
Or maybe you're volunteering for a community project like organizing a neighborhood cleanup. The data shows that if you handle these public tasks with extreme care on Monday, it builds a really solid foundation for the rest of the week.
Because you're proving to the world that you're reliable.
Exactly.
It sounds like laying down the bricks for that house renovation we talked about.
Yes.
It's the unglamorous work that keeps the house standing. But then we move to Wednesday, March 18, and the data shows the energy changing entirely.
It really does. It shifts fast.
Right, because the sun connects with Uranus.
Yeah.
Now, the data calls this a sextile, which
Yeah.
I understand is just an astrological term for when two planets are at a 60-degree angle.
Right, and they're working together beautifully.
Working together, right. And this connection is supposed to bring a sudden, completely brilliant idea that will impress strict bosses.
Yes, that's what the data points to.
But I actually want to push back on this a little bit.
Oh, go right ahead.
Well, Uranus is the planet of sudden surprises.
Yes, yeah.
It's known for lightning bolts and completely unexpected events. So how in the world can you prepare for a surprise idea?
That's a fair point.
Right. Because if it's a surprise, you don't know it's coming. Should our Aquarius listeners just be like walking around with a notebook in their hands all day Wednesday, just waiting for lightning to strike?
Honestly,
Yeah.
keeping a notebook nearby on Wednesday is actually a very smart idea.
Wait, really?
Yes. You're right that you can't plan the exact second a lightning bolt will strike, but you can absolutely build a lightning rod.
Oh, I like
Yeah.
that. Building a lightning rod.
Yeah.
How do you actually do that?
By creating space for the idea to land safely. See, Uranus actually rules the sign of Aquarius, so you are already very comfortable with this planet's energy.
That makes sense.
It rules those sudden flashes of genius where a complex problem suddenly makes perfect sense.
Like a light bulb going off.
Exactly. So, on March 18th, the sun, which brings warmth, energy, and a spotlight, is shining directly on Uranus.
Okay.
You might just be doing your normal routine, maybe making coffee or typing an email, and you will suddenly think of a completely new way to solve a problem that has been annoying your boss for a month.
Wow. So the lightning rod is just being open to the idea and having a way to capture it.
Right, like jotting it down immediately.
But this doesn't just apply to the workplace, does it?
No, it doesn't. The data points to positive sudden surprises happening in your home sector, too.
Oh, nice.
So that flash of genius might be about your personal life. Maybe you suddenly realize how to rearrange your living room so it feels twice as big.
Or maybe you get a sudden happy surprise from a family member.
Exactly. The main advice for Aquarius on Wednesday is trust the sudden flash. Do not second-guess the brilliant idea. Write it down.
And if it helps your job, share it.
Yes, it is going to impress the right people.
All right, so Monday we are doing the diligent, careful work. Wednesday we are catching the lightning bolts. Then we wake up on Thursday, March 19th. And this is the new moon in Pisces.
A very important day.
The data says this is the perfect day to plant seeds for your financial future and your long-term professional income.
Yes, it is.
When I hear plant seeds, I imagine doing something very small right now that will grow into a massive tree later.
That is the absolute perfect way to describe a new moon. A new moon happens when the sky is dark, right?
Right.
And it always represents a fresh start or a blank page. Because this new moon is happening in Pisces, which, again, is your money sector. This week, it's the single best day of the month to start a new financial habit.
Okay.
If we analyze the data, this is all about setting up your income to grow over a long period.
I think we need to give some really practical, simple, actionable examples of planting a seed here.
Sure.
Because sometimes people hear financial future and they think they need to go out and buy a piece of real estate or start a whole new business on Thursday.
Oh, no, no, no.
But it can be much smaller than that, right?
Much smaller. A seed is tiny. Planting a seed on Thursday could be as simple as going on your phone and opening a new savings account, even if you only transfer $5 into it.
Oh, wow. Just $5.
Yeah. The act of opening the account is the seed.
I love that.
Or it could be sending a short, friendly networking email to someone in an industry you want to work in.
Just to say hi.
I mean, you don't ask them for a job. You just say hello and tell them you admire their work. You're planting a seed of connection.
That's so doable.
Even just taking a sticky note, writing down a new income goal for the year, and putting it on your mirror accounts.
Really?
Yes, you are setting a clear intention while the sky is dark, preparing for it to grow as the moon gets brighter.
That is so manageable. Anyone can send an email or write a sticky note.
Exactly.
But then Friday arrives, March 20. And looking at the data, this is the big shift, the biggest shift of the entire week.
Oh, massive.
Two major things happen on the exact same day. First, Mercury goes direct.
Yes.
Second, the sun enters Aries.
A powerhouse of a day.
Let's unpack the Mercury part first. What does this mean for the Aquarius bank account?
Well, let's look at why things might have felt stuck lately. You know the feeling when you're waiting on a check to arrive in the mail?
Yeah, yes.
Or a friend owes you money? or a client hasn't paid an invoice, and the whole process just feels totally frozen in time.
It's so frustrating.
That frozen, frustrating feeling is the classic energy of Mercury retrograde. Mercury rules communication and commerce, so when it appears to move backward in the sky, money and messages get delayed.
It's like a corrupted file on your computer,
Yeah.
where the loading bar just gets stuck at 99% and sits there forever.
Exactly. That is the perfect analogy. But on Friday, March 20, Mercury turns direct.
Nice.
It moves forward again. The system finally downloads the patch, and the corrupted file is fixed.
So what happens to the money?
The astrological data tells us that this forward motion completely clears up your money misunderstandings. The loading bar finally hits 100%. Those delayed checks, they finally clear safely.
What a relief. There is literally nothing more stressful than having your money tied up because of a paperwork error or a misunderstanding.
It's a huge weight lifted.
And the data also says this forward motion makes Friday the green light to sign important professional contracts.
Yes, absolutely. If you have been waiting to sign a lease for an apartment, a new job offer, or any kind of legal paperwork for your business, Friday is the day you want to put your pen on the paper.
Because the fog has lifted.
Exactly. The fog is lifted and the misunderstandings are totally gone.
But Friday has a second half to it. The sun enters Aries.
Yes, it does.
How does that impact the money side of things?
Well, when the sun moves into Aries, it lights up a very specific part of the Aquarius chart that deals with how you process information. The data shows that your intuition regarding money becomes absolutely perfect.
Intuition meaning like your gut instinct.
Yes, your gut feeling about whether a purchase is a good idea or whether a project will be profitable, it will be spot on.
Wow, that's powerful.
It is. Furthermore, the sun in Aries brings a very active, team-focused energy. Aries is a fire sign, and it loves to take action.
So working with others gets easier.
Much easier. You will find that completing group tasks with your team at work suddenly feels happy and effortless. Everyone will be on the same page.
So Friday is just this massive powerhouse day. The delays are gone, your gut instinct is sharp, and your team is working together smoothly.
Exactly.
And all of this builds up to Sunday, March 22. The data calls this the weekend windfall.
My favorite part.
Mars is trining Jupiter. First of all, what does trining actually mean in plain English?
Sure. A trine is an astrological aspect where two planets are 120 degrees apart.
Okay.
It is considered the luckiest, most harmonious angle possible. It basically means the energy between the two planets is flowing without any friction at all.
Like a river flowing downhill without any rocks in the way.
Exactly like that.
Huh.
And the two planets involved here are Mars and Jupiter.
What do they represent?
Mars is the planet of action, drive, and pushing forward. Jupiter is the planet of luck, expansion, and big rewards.
Oh, wow.
So when these two flow together perfectly on Sunday, the data indicates a massive total career luck and secure financial expansion.
That sounds like the payoff for the whole week.
It really is.
Yeah.
This is the reward for the diligent, boring work you did on Monday. It is the tree sprouting from the seed you planted on Thursday's new moon.
I love that.
It brings a deep feeling of security. You might officially get news of a promotion, or you might just feel a profound, solid confidence that your career is exactly where it needs to be.
I love that journey. From laying the bricks on Monday to feeling totally secure on Sunday.
It's a great progression.
But, making money and achieving your career goals is fantastic. But wealth doesn't really mean much if you don't have the right people to share it with.
That is so true.
Because sitting alone with a full bank account gets lonely pretty fast.
Very fast.
Which leads us perfectly into our next section, looking at how these exact same planets are affecting the Aquarius love life and friendships this week.
Right. It is so important to look at both sides of the coin. While the planets are sorting out your career, they are also doing some heavy lifting in your heart.
Oh, I'm ready for this.
When we analyze the romantic data for this week, it tells a story about brutal honesty, grand affection, and finding the partner who can actually keep up with you.
Okay, let's go back to Monday, March 16. We know we're working hard at our jobs, but in the background, Mercury is squaring Lilith.
Yes, it is.
I think we need to explain what Lilith is, because that is not a planet we hear about every day.
That's a great point. Lilith, often called Black Moon Lilith, is actually not a physical planet.
Oh, really?
No, it's a mathematical point in the sky related to the moon's orbit.
Interesting.
In astrology, Lilith represents our shadow self. It is our hidden desires, our rawest emotions, and all those messy, unedited parts of us that we usually try to hide from polite society.
And Mercury is the planet of communication. A square means the two are clashing or creating friction, right?
Correct. A square forces an issue to the surface. So when communication, which is Mercury, clashes with your hidden fears and desires, which is Lilith, the data says you have to communicate what you are secretly feeling with absolute honesty.
Wow, absolute honesty.
Yes, you cannot hide anymore.
Hmm.
And importantly, it warns against making impulsive purchases based on hidden fears.
I really want to dig into that.
Yeah.
What does an impulsive purchase based on hidden fear actually look like in real life?
It can take a few forms.
Because to me, it sounds like going on a date and buying someone a ridiculously expensive watch, not because you actually love them, but because you're secretly terrified they're going to break up with you if you don't impress them.
That is the exact scenario the data is warning against. It is using money as a shield for your insecurity.
Right.
You think, if I pay for this extremely fancy dinner that I cannot really afford, they will owe me their affection. They will have to like me.
Well, that's heavy.
It is. That kind of spending comes from a feel of rejection, which is classic Lilith energy. The data is clear. Do not do this on Monday.
So what is the alternative? If an Aquarius listener is feeling insecure on a date on Monday, what should they do instead of reaching for their credit card?
They need to use the Mercury side of the equation and talk.
Just talk it out.
Communicate the hidden fear honestly. Instead of buying the fancy dinner, you look at the person and say, I really like you, and honestly, I am feeling a little nervous today because I want this to go well.
Oh, that is so vulnerable.
That level of vulnerability is incredibly hard, but it is exactly what this transit is asking for. It clears the bad energy out of the room.
And if you do that hard work on Monday, it looks like you get rewarded by Wednesday, March 18th.
Yes, the energy totally flips.
Venus, the planet of love, squares Jupiter, the planet of expansion. The data says your heart will expand massively, and you will want to spoil a sweet partner with beautiful gifts and grand affection. But wait, didn't we just say not to buy things for people?
This is where we have to look at the motive behind the action.
The motive.
Right. On Monday, buying a gift was driven by fear and trying to control the situation, but on Wednesday, the energy is completely different. Venus and Jupiter together create a feeling of overflowing joy.
Oh, I see.
You are buying a gift or planning a grand romantic gesture, not because you are afraid, but because you are so happy you just want to share it.
It's the difference between giving a gift with strings attached versus giving a gift just to see them smile.
Exactly, and the data mentions something fascinating about this specific day.
What's that?
When you put that kind of pure, generous energy out into the world on March 18th, there is a high probability you will receive a massive, totally unexpected financial bonus or a beautiful gift in return.
Wait, really? Just by being generous?
Yes,
Yeah.
It is the principle of abundance. When you give freely, the universe tends to hand something massive back to you.
I love the idea that giving out of joy actually attracts more joy.
It's a beautiful transit.
Now, let's move to Thursday and Friday, March 19 and 20.
Oh.
On Thursday, we have that new moon in Pisces again.
Right.
We talked about planting seeds for money. But the data says this is also the time to make a completely new wish for your romantic future.
A new moon is a blank page for every area of your life. If you are single, Thursday is the day to get very clear on what you want.
Writing it down.
Yes. Your wish might be, I want a partner who challenges my mind and makes me laugh. If you are already in a relationship, your wish might be, I want us to communicate better and take a trip this summer.
You're just deciding what you want the future to look like.
Exactly. Setting that intention.
And then we hit Friday, March 20. The sun enters Aries and Mercury goes direct.
A big shift.
We know this clears up money delays, but what does it do for love? The data says it creates highly social, fun, romantic dates and perfect understanding with a partner, without any sad delays or confusion.
Right. Because Mercury is moving forward again, the communication blockages in your relationships just vanish.
No more mixed signals.
Exactly. You are no longer talking past each other. You and your partner will understand each other perfectly. And because the sun is entering Aries, which is a fiery, active sign, you are not going to want to sit at home on the couch.
Oh, definitely not.
You will want to be out in the world. Friday night is the ultimate date night for Aquarius this week. It favors loud laughter, busy restaurants, and highly social activities.
Which naturally brings us to the most important question for our single listeners. Who should they be taking on these Friday night dates?
Yes, let's look at compatibility.
The data points to a very specific sign as the absolute best match this week. Gemini.
Oh, yes. Gemini is perfect right now.
Why is Gemini the ultimate supportive teammate for Aquarius this week?
To understand this, we have to look at the elements. Both Aquarius and Gemini are air signs.
Okay, air signs.
Because they share that same element, they have an identical approach to daily life. They are both highly communicative and deeply intellectual.
They both need mental stimulation, right? Like
Yeah.
they don't just want to talk about what they had for lunch. They want to talk about weird documentaries, future technologies, and big ideas.
Precisely. They bounce ideas off each other effortlessly. So when the sun enters Aries on Friday and Aquarius wants to go out and be social, Gemini is the perfect person to bring along.
They'll just match that energy.
Yes. Gemini will match that fast-paced energy perfectly. They are supportive, fun, and intellectually engaging.
And what about later in the weekend?
Well, when we look ahead to Sunday, March 22, with that big Mars and Jupiter alignment, the data shows that an Aquarius and Gemini couple will thrive on that expanding energy.
Nice.
They can tackle shared intellectual goals together and be highly successful. Gemini provides the loyal affection that Aquarius needs while still giving them the freedom they crave to enjoy simple, fun things.
Okay, so if you want to have a good time this week, find a Gemini.
Definitely.
But the data also has a very strong warning about who to avoid.
Yes, it does.
The match to avoid this week is Virgo. The data actually says finding common ground with a Virgo will be completely impossible during this fast-paced week.
It's going to be really tough.
Why do Aquarius and Virgo clash so badly right now?
Again, we have to look at the elements to understand the friction. Aquarius is an air sign, and right now you are being influenced by the sun entering Aries, which is a fire sign.
Okay, air and fire.
Right. Fire and air together create a fast, hot, upward-moving energy. You want to socialize, move quickly, and leap into new ideas.
And Virgo is an earth sign.
Yes, Virgo is Earth, and what does Earth want to do?
Stay grounded.
Exactly. It wants to stay grounded, it wants to move slowly, carefully, and practically. So when the sun enters Aries on Friday, Aquarius wants to go to a noisy party, but Virgo loudly wants to stay home and conquer their quiet, boring goals.
Like organizing their spreadsheets or something?
Exactly. And the data points out that the real clash happens earlier in the week on Wednesday, March 18, when Venus squares Jupiter.
Oh, wait. Why does that specific day trigger an argument between Aquarius and Virgo?
Well, remember that Venus squaring Jupiter makes Aquarius want to be playful, grand, and maybe a little over the top with their affection and money.
Right. The grand gestures of joy.
Exactly. But Virgo hates over the top. Virgo demands strict caution and practicality.
Oh, I see the problem.
So Aquarius acts playfully, Virgo responds with heavy caution, and it triggers a massive argument. Virgo's unpredictable, slow moods will deeply disturb the peace that Aquarius is trying to maintain. The data advises avoiding their heavy energy entirely.
But I have to ask a practical question here.
Sure.
Because it is really easy to say avoid Virgo. But what if an Aquarius listener is married to a Virgo? Or what if the strict boss we talked about earlier is a Virgo?
That is a very real scenario.
You can't just avoid your spouse or your boss for a week. The data says to avoid their heavy energy entirely. Does that mean just putting on noise-canceling headphones and walking away? How do you actually handle this?
It is a great question because real life requires compromise. If you cannot physically avoid a Virgo, you must create safe, polite, emotional boundaries.
Polite boundaries. How?
The trick is to keep your interactions strictly factual and brief. If your boss is a Virgo, do not try to joke around with them on Wednesday. Just hand them the report and say, here are the numbers you asked for.
And keep it strictly business.
Exactly. If your partner is a Virgo and they start projecting that heavy, strict energy, do not try to drag them into your playful mood. They will resent it.
So what do you do?
Instead, it is perfectly fine to politely say, I can see you are focused right now, so I am going to go read my book in the other room. You are setting a boundary and protecting your peace without starting a fight.
Keep it brief, stick to the facts, and save your playful energy for your Gemini friends. That is really great practical advice.
It saves a lot of headaches.
But, managing all of this, working hard on Monday, catching lightning bolts on Wednesday, dodging arguments, and going on fast-paced dates on Friday, that requires a massive amount of physical and mental energy.
It's an exhausting lineup.
It really is. So to keep up with all this fast-paced luck, the listener needs to know what the stars say about their health and wellness this week. Let's look at how to heal the mind and body.
Health is the foundation of everything else. If your body and mind are exhausted, you cannot enjoy the financial or romantic luck coming your way.
So true.
When we analyze the wellness data for this week, we see a very distinct pattern. It asks for quiet reflection in the first half of the week, followed by a major surge of social energy at the end.
Okay, let's trace that timeline. Monday, March 16th. The moon is in Pisces. We know this affects money, but for health, the data says you need to spend quiet moments focusing on supportive personal goals.
Yes,
This sounds to me like making sure you check in with yourself before the chaos of the week begins.
that is exactly what it is. The moon in Pisces is a very sensitive emotional transit. You will feel things deeply on Monday.
Okay, so take it slow.
Right. The best way to handle that is to carve out 10 or 15 minutes for yourself early in the day. Drink your morning coffee or tea in silence. Do not turn on the news. Do not open your email.
Just breathe.
Just sit quietly and ask yourself, what do I actually need to accomplish today to feel good?
Then we move to Wednesday, March 18th. This is the sun connecting with Uranus. We already know Uranus brings sudden, brilliant ideas for work, but the data says it also brings sudden inspiration to change your daily exercise routine for the better.
It does.
I actually really love this because it is so easy to get stuck doing the exact same workout for months until you are just bored out of your mind.
Oh, completely. Routine is the enemy of Uranus. Uranus wants to break the mold. But this doesn't mean you have to suddenly run a marathon if you have never jogged before.
Okay, good.
The data is suggesting small, positive disruptions to how you move your body.
Give me some simple examples of a positive disruption.
Well, if you normally walk your dog around the same 3 blocks every morning, Wednesday is the day you suddenly decide to take a new walking route.
It's just a change of scenery.
Exactly. Or maybe you usually lift weights after work, but you get a sudden urge to try a fun new stretch or a yoga video before bed instead. The key is to follow the inspiration.
Listen to your body.
Yes. When your brain says, let's do this differently today, listen to it. Changing your physical routine will totally refresh your mind.
And then on Thursday, March 19th, we have the new moon in Pisces. We've talked about planting seeds, but for health, the data says Thursday should be dedicated entirely to healing your spirit through gentle meditation.
The new moon is the darkest night of the lunar cycle. Nature naturally quiets down, and humans are meant to do the same.
Make sense?
Gentle meditation is the perfect tool for this. It does not require you to sit perfectly still for an hour. It just means finding a comfortable spot, closing your eyes, and letting your mind rest.
Just resetting.
You are actively letting go of any stress you accumulated on Monday or Wednesday, making sure your spirit is light before the big shift on Friday.
Which brings us to Friday, March 20. The sun enters Aries.
Here we go.
Now, this is where I was looking at the data, and I actually got really confused. I want to push back on this observation because it totally defies common sense.
Okay, what stood out to you?
Usually we hear that we need to sleep or be alone to get our energy back.
Right.
But the data for March 20 says something completely different. It says Aquarius needs to socialize to restore their natural energy. How does that work? Being around people takes energy, right?
Yeah.
How could it give energy back?
It is a brilliant question, and it is honestly one of the most misunderstood parts of astrology. To understand why socializing is restful for an Aquarius, we have to go back to the elements again.
Okay, break it down.
Aquarius is an air sign. Your natural energy is mental, communicative, and wind-like. When the sun enters Aries on Friday, it brings fire energy into the sky.
And what happens when air meets fire?
Air feeds the fire. It creates a dynamic, upward burst of energy. For an Aquarius, being isolated when the sun is in Aries actually causes your energy to stagnate.
Oh, interesting.
If you sit alone on the couch on Friday night, the air is still, you will feel sluggish, tired, and maybe a little grumpy.
But if you go out,
If you go out and meet up with your fun local friends, you start talking, laughing, and exchanging ideas. The air starts moving, it feeds the fire.
wow.
For this specific transit, socializing acts exactly like plugging a battery into a charger. It acts like a total battery recharge.
That is fascinating. So the conversation and the fun literally generate physical energy for them. It wakes them up.
Yes, the social interaction fuels the Aquarius spirit. And there is another layer to Friday's health data.
What's that?
Remember that Mercury goes direct on this exact same day. The data notes that this forward motion of Mercury completely relieves severe mental stress, bringing total physical wellness.
I think people underestimate how much mental worry physically hurts the body.
It really takes a toll.
When you are stressed about a delayed check, your shoulders are tense, your jaw is clenched, you might have a headache. But the moment you get the email saying the check cleared, which is Mercury going direct, your shoulders drop. The headache disappears.
The mind and the body are not separate. When Mercury clears the communication blockages and the financial fog lifts, the mental worry vanishes. Your physical body is finally allowed to relax.
That's amazing.
Friday is a day of profound total healing, both because you are socializing and because the mental burden is lifted.
Okay, we have covered an incredible amount of ground. Let's summarize the journey so far.
Great idea.
We know how to lay a solid foundation for our careers on Monday and how to catch the Uranus lightning bolts on Wednesday. We know who to love, who to avoid, and we know that Friday night socializing is the secret to staying healthy.
We've mapped it all out.
Now, it is time to give the listener the specific tools the stars have provided to unlock all this good energy. Let's dive into the Aquarius power tools, the colors, the numbers, and the key dates.
These are the practical, everyday tools that help you align your personal vibration with the positive energy of the week.
Let's start with the color of the week. The data is very specific here. The color of the week for Aquarius is turquoise.
A beautiful color.
And it even provides a specific color code, hashtag 40E000. Now, for someone who doesn't work in graphic design and doesn't know what a hex code looks like, how would you describe this exact shade of turquoise?
Think of the ocean, but not the dark, deep, moody ocean in the winter. Think of the water in a tropical lagoon where the sun is shining directly through the water and you can see the bright white sand at the bottom.
Oh, that sounds amazing.
It is a bright, happy, ocean-like blue-green. It is not too green like grass and not too blue like the night sky. It sits perfectly in the middle. It is a very happy, clear color.
It sounds like vacation in a color.
Mm-hmm.
So what are some easy ways our listeners can use this specific shade of turquoise to boost their luck this week?
Well, it is all about visual reminders. You don't have to go out and paint your living room or buy an entirely new wardrobe. The easiest way is to find a picture of this tropical water on your phone and set it as your background.
Just a phone background.
Yeah, you look at your phone dozens of times a day. Every time you do, that color registers in your brain and aligns you with that clear, bright energy.
What if you're going on that fun date with the Gemini on Friday night?
Wearing a turquoise shirt or even just a turquoise scarf is an excellent choice. It signals to the world that you are open, playful, and ready to communicate.
I love that.
But my absolute favorite way to use this color this week involves your career. Remember that Friday, March 20, is the perfect day to sign important contracts because Mercury is direct.
Right, the fog is lifted, so we sign on Friday.
Imagine taking a bright turquoise pen and using it to sign those important professional contracts. You are literally stamping your lucky color directly onto your financial future. It is a small action, but psychologically, it is very powerful.
Turquoise pen. That is such a simple, brilliant tip.
It's very effective.
Now let's talk about the lucky numbers for the week. The pattern here is really fascinating. The numbers for Aquarius are 11, 22, 33, 44, 55, and 66.
Yes, the double digits.
They're all double digits. Why is the data giving us this specific repeating pattern?
Well, in numerology and astrology, repeating numbers hold a very specific vibration. They represent perfect alignment and totally clear communication.
Clear communication. That ties perfectly back into Mercury going direct, right?
Exactly. If you think about what a double digit is, visually a 1 standing right next to another 1, a 2 standing next to another 2, it is a number communicating perfectly with itself. It is a mirror image.
Oh, I see.
The numbers are reflecting the planetary energy. It represents total balance. There are no crossed wires, no misunderstandings. The universe is using these double digits to signal that you are in alignment.
How might a listener actually spot these numbers in their daily routine? Because I assume they aren't just going to see a giant 55 painted on a wall.
Once you know to look for them, they will pop up everywhere.
Really? Like where?
You might be watching a video online, and you pause it to answer a text, and you notice the timestamp is exactly 11 minutes and 22 seconds.
Oh, nice.
Or you might go buy groceries, and the bill comes to exactly $44.55. Or you might be driving your car, and the license plate in front of you ends in 66.
And when an Aquarius sees these numbers, what is the takeaway? What should they do in that moment?
Just take a breath and smile. Acknowledge it. Think of it as a small, friendly wink from the universe.
A wink from the universe. I like that.
It is just a little reminder saying, you are on the right path. Your money is secure. Your communication is clear. Keep going. It is a moment to trust the process.
A friendly wink. That's lovely. Finally, let's review the best dates of the week. The data highlights a 3-day window, March 18th, March 19th, and March 20th.
Yes, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday.
These really seem to be the powerhouse days of the week.
They are the peak times for action. Just to recap, Wednesday, March 18th is the day for catching sudden, brilliant ideas at work and spoiling your partner.
Thursday, March 19th.
That's the new moon. The best day to plant new seeds for your financial future and make a big romantic wish.
And Friday, March 20th.
The climax of the week. Mercury goes direct, the sun enters Aries, you sign the contract, and you go out on a fun date to restore your energy.
So if an Aquarius listener needs to schedule a meeting to ask for a raise, or if they want to ask someone out on a date, or if they just want to set a major goal for the year, they should aim for Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday.
Yes, that 3-day window is when the energy is the most supportive and protected. It is the time to make your move.
This has been such an incredible forecast. We have analyzed so much data today.
We really covered it all.
From laying the bricks and doing the diligent work on Monday to catching those sudden Uranus lightning bolts on Wednesday, Aquarius, you are setting up a foundation for an amazing week. You are growing your income. You are clearing out the old misunderstandings, and you are finding the right people to share it all with.
It is a week of massive growth.
Before we wrap up, I want to leave you, the listener, with one final provocative thought to explore on your own.
Oh, I'm curious.
We talked a lot today about planting seeds and clearing up the past, right? Like clearing out the bad drywall to make room for the new furniture. And we spent a lot of time analyzing Mercury going direct on Friday, which clears the air.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to think about one old misunderstanding you have been holding on to. Maybe it's a grudge against an old friend or a worry about a past mistake. With Mercury finally clearing the air, what would happen if you finally decided to let it go?
That's a powerful question.
Right. How much more room would you have for all the joy and abundance headed your way? Think about it.
Let it go to make room for the good stuff.
Exactly. Well, thank you so much for listening to this episode on Horoscope TV. We truly appreciate you spending your time with us.
Yes, thank you for joining us. Have a wonderful, insightful week.
Please make sure to subscribe to the show so you can get notified the moment the next episode is available. We cannot wait to see you back here next time. Have a beautiful, prosperous week, Aquarius.